Hey everybody, it is April 2025 and it is Saturday. Sit back and chill. We're going to talk about 6 different issues about photography and what's going to happen here in the near future with this channel. Are we ready for this? Let's do it. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to the channel, this is what I call Saturday Sit Back and Chill. It's really reflecting on some of the issues and comments people made throughout my channel the last month. And I like to call it Sit Back and Chill because I want you to grab your favorite beverage, whatever it is. Today, I forgot the name of it, but I'm drinking red wine. That's my favorite, is always red wine. This one is from Sicily, and it's a good dry red wine. Really enjoying it. And let's talk about the 6 issues. Let's jump right into this. Number one, last month was a little over 1,000 new subscribers. So I feel like a broken record sometimes because I'm repeating this. And that is, this channel is dedicated to photography and as a photo artist. And what in the heck is a photo artist? And that is somebody who uses a camera and software to create their art and vision. So as an example, if you take a look at this image right there, I can't call that photography. I'm a photo artist, right? I'm using a camera and I'm cutting out the subject and putting them into a customized background I've created. And now I'm a photo artist. And here's another example. You've probably seen this before if you've been following my channel. With this, Jenny, I photographed in a studio and cut her out and put her into a background like that. So again, that's an example of being a photo artist. And I'm trying to push ourselves creatively to always think out of the box with our photography work and also with our photo artwork. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's go into the second issue, and that is I'd like to thank the people that were making comments about Lightroom. Are you using any other product? Because there's this anti-movement, against Adobe. I'm dropping Adobe's product, that kind of thing. That's not me, but I understand why some people are doing it, and that's fine. But if you're not using Lightroom, what are you using? And I had some suggestions, and I shared that with you in a past video. And then some people were making comments about, what they're using. And some said, no, I still love Adobe. I like the Lightroom. And I agree. I mean, I think that when you're using Lightroom along with Photoshop, it's the best 1-2 punch in photography. And one of the things that I don't talk about Lightroom because I really don't use the product anymore because I stopped doing weddings back in 2019. Again, I feel like a broken record because I've mentioned that before, but there's a lot of new people. So not that Lightroom's a bad product. I don't do that kind of work anymore where I'm shooting 800 to 1,500 images and I got to cull it down and my workflow is faster by using Lightroom. The client work I do right now that I'm trying to phase out of as a transitional year, because I would like to totally retire and spend more time with the YouTube channel and doing some personal traveling and personal projects. But there's this really cool feature that if you select an image in the bottom tray, that film strip tray in Lightroom, that's all you have to do is Control-E or Command-E on a Mac, and it quickly opens up that image in Photoshop. You can do all your editing and modifying in that program. Then when you close out and save in Photoshop, it goes right back into Lightroom. Some people call that round tripping. And again, I think it's just the best, 1-2 punch out there. But again, I understand some people just don't want to use Adobe stuff, or there's really no need for them to use a product like Lightroom or something like that. So anyhow, so thank you for the response I got regarding that. The third issue is, I need to flag this. I'm not tech support. And excuse me for a second, my throat's getting dry. Maybe it's because of their dry wine, who knows? But what was I talking about? Tech support. I've had a few people say, hey, this doesn't work for me anymore, or my computer's crashing. What's going on? Oh, excuse me. I don't know. I'm not a tech support, especially with Adobe products, Photoshop. If it's not working right, I would uninstall it, reinstall it. But if it's not working, definitely you got to get a hold of Adobe or something like that. I mean, I have no idea. I have no problem with it. It's working for me. I just need to put this out there. Excuse me. Wow. I'm just not tech support on that stuff. Anyhow, let's move on to issue number 4. And that is, just a week ago, I had talked about some of the issues camera companies are having. What can we put in these cameras? And they're experimenting with different things. They're looking at stuff. I can't reveal my sources on this, but I was showing some things. If you haven't seen that, that was last week's video. And I've discovered some other things that are mentioned, and I'm going to show you. Again, I'm the messenger on this. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I remember back in 2013. So let's take a look at this on the website. This is back in 2013. This is a Samsung Galaxy SNX. It's got the Android operating system within the camera to do some very unique things. Well, this is being kicked around again, and not by Samsung. This is being looked at some major camera companies. I'm not going to mention names because, again, I don't want to get this person in trouble on my sources, and it may come out, it may not. I mean, I don't know, but this is something that definitely is being looked at. And the problem is, and we talked about this a week ago, is that camera companies are looking at what can we do in our newer cameras to want people to upgrade or buy a new camera. And, you know, it's getting to a point where cameras are so good now, we don't need all these high megapixels like we thought we would or whatever. I mean, so many people don't even print and stuff. And, you know, very few people do commercial work. Yes, I get it. If you're doing commercial work for clients, you want the high res. I understand that. But that's not most of the people out there. And most of the people that, at least my subscribers, they're just amateur photographers, or not maybe amateur, but they're just doing this for fun. And they really enjoy photography. And the camera delivers what they want. And so the say demand for them or interest in upgrading or buying a new camera is very low and stuff. So, you know, these camera companies are just pulling all straws different ways. Also, they're trying to do things like they're now coming back with point and shoots, and they want to make it more upscale point and shoot cameras, sort of a retro type look and feel to the camera. So all of a sudden, it's not about the specs, but it's about the vanity of owning something that's retro looking and really cool looking. So in other words, it's all about looking cool rather than the features built into the camera. I'm neutral on it. There's nothing wrong with, you know, buying something like that has that retro look. What the heck? Why not? But these are the things that they're looking at. And I'm just going to show you one other feature right here on the website. And that is, there's a rumor that everybody should know who DJI is, you know, with the drones, and also their small, video camera that's used for vloggers, that kind of stuff. Well, they're looking at possibly coming out with a full frame digital camera. And also the rumor is they're partnering with Huawei as, you know, the people that make really good cell phones. So this is not Apple. This is not Samsung. You know, it's Huawei. This is all Chinese companies collaborating together. And the rumors are pretty strong on this. So we'll see what happens on that. I mean, DJI makes some really good premium products. And it'll be interesting to see if they shake up the market and come out with something that, again, full frame camera, but has some unique features that would want, you know, people to buy that camera. I mean, I have no idea, you know, what the interest would be in something like that, but again, we'll see what happens down the road with that. So anyhow, so that's just a little bit of update on cameras and what's happening out there with some of the manufacturers and what they're playing with, because again, they're all hitting the wall. All these cameras are really good cameras for the last 5 to 8 years. And as long as they deliver what you want in photography, like for me, I have no reason really to upgrade, which I'm going to talk about right now. I just got back. Let's see. Today is the 5th. I'm recording this on the 4th, and I got back on the 3rd. I was at a 2-day workshop in Nashville, but I stayed in Nashville for an entire week to visit my daughter, son-in-law, my grandkids, and just had a blast. But when I was at this function, and let me go over, let's see. By the way, I'm just going to throw this out there really quick as a reminder. I'd like to thank the people that are supporting the channel. By the way, I've been learning this on YouTube and that. A few people can do me a really good favor, and that is like the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and hit that notification bell. The next time I upload a video, you'll get notified on that. This right here is buymeacoffee.com/Stephen Photo Artist. It's just an alternative way of helping support the channel. It's not a monthly subscription. And I got a suggestion. I just started this, by the way. Somebody said, because a coffee's like $3. Some actually donate 2 or 3 coffees, which I really appreciate. Thank you very much. But somebody had made a suggestion, and I'm going to go to the extra tab. And the suggestion was, hey, on some of the demos that you do, could you offer the image like this one here, experimental art? I was offering the sample image of the flower I used, a couple textures in there that were used in there, and the video that was recorded to actually walk through the project. And I'm giving that to you for the $3. So instead of going just donating $3 for a coffee, why not go there on the extra tab and get that for the same $3? You're getting some kind of extra bonus. Again, the training video and the flower image and the 2 textures. So little hint, wink, wink, wink. Next week, you're going to see a really cool video on how to paint, which now is becoming one of my favorite methods, using brushes. And I have no artistic capability. And if you want to get a jump start, you could look at the promo video that's on the extra tab, again, at buymeacoffee.com/Stephen Photo Artist. But you're going to see the entire video next week, Wednesday. Okay, so just a little, flirting with you a little bit as to what's going to happen in a few days. All right, so that is another topic I want to talk about. And the next one was when I was in Nashville, and I was with a 2-day workshop at Nashville College of Art and Design. I'm just going to go to their website and share the website with you. Let me go to go to campus right here. And I just had a blast. Worked my you-know-what off for a couple days. I thought I was going to have about 5 or 6 models. Ended up with 8 models there. And let me just show you the area. They only have a picture of the big area, which is right here. This is the main area. I mean, there's a garage door. You can actually drive in a Corvette or a fancy car. They have lights up on top to light it along the side and everything. It's a big, big area, but they also have another area that has really cool natural light. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share you my experience of that 2-day workshop, probably not till May, because I have some other things I have to get out of the way for clients, and I'll work on a few images from that 2-day workshop in Nashville. But just had a blast over there, met the director of photography over there, had a nice talk with him. But anyhow, there was a total of, I believe, 8 or 9 photographers there. And I want to talk about this for a moment. Everybody had a mirrorless camera. Now, there were some people there with the one guy had a Hasselblad, one of the newer Hasselblad cameras. There was Fuji was there, Canon, and Nikon. I don't think anybody had a Sony. I didn't see that. Maybe somebody did. But the point is that the major brands were represented there with the photographers that were at the workshop. I was the only one there with a Canon DSLR. And you know my attitude about mirrorless. It's not that it's negative. I have no interest in getting one because the camera I have delivers what I need for my client work. And unless I break the camera or something, but I'll probably end up getting a used Canon 6D Mark II. That's what I'm using right now. But it was interesting that people were looking at my portfolio and then they were asking me, oh my, what kind of camera are you using? I always get the big kick out of that. And I was showing them the camera and they go, you're not shooting mirrorless? And I go, well, no. I said, I have no need to. I mean, the camera delivers exactly what I want. And it's all about the finished product. It's not about the camera. And we've had that discussion before, but it's just really interesting how the attitude of some of the photographers, and most of them, by the way, they're not, they don't do this as a business. It was a hobby. They've been doing photography for a long time. They just enjoy photographing, whether it's in a studio with models versus landscape, lifestyle, all this other kind of stuff. But interesting, the reaction I was getting as a result of my camera. So, but anyhow, had a blast over there, enjoyed myself, actually learned a new lighting technique. I thought I knew everything. No. And somebody always asks, well, you've been doing this for 20 some years now. Why do you go to workshops? And easy. I go to workshops because it's a way for me to get away from the noise out there. Take that cell phone, it's turned off. I only turn the cell phone on during the lunch break to check my messages and that. I want to be around like-minded people. No distractions other than we're there for photography. And I love sharing ideas with people. I learn from other people too. You know, that's the whole idea, is collaborating back and forth, discussing ideas, sharing ideas together. That's the whole purpose, with no distractions at all. 2 days, loved it. So I always make it a goal for me to go at least on one major workshop per year. And normally for me, it's always out of state someplace. You don't have to, but a lot of times I'm limited as to what I could go to in Michigan or what's offered in Michigan. And a lot of things I would like to attend, like last year, the Bonneville Salt Flats. That's not in Michigan. You know, I had to go to Salt Lake City and then go to the Salt Flats. And again, that was like a 3-day workshop. Had a blast over there. I encourage everybody, if you can afford it, dedicate yourself to going to a live workshop, whether it's a 1-day, 2-day, 3-day event, whatever it is, because you're going to get so much out of that, collaborating with other photographers. And it doesn't matter if you're a beginner versus, hey, I've got 10 years, 20 years experience. We all learn. And that's the other thing about the workshop. There were a couple of people there that were fairly new in photography, and they felt a little bit intimidated. And basically I had to slow them down and say, hey, wait, we're here to help. You know, even though I'm here to experience the workshop and to photograph the different models and stuff and try different styles of lighting. But if you're stuck on something, you're not sure how to set up your camera and what to do, let me know. I mean, that's what we're here for, is to help you get through that. I mean, I remember when I started how intimidated I was working in a studio format along with models. Man, I was just so scared. Now you can't shut me up, okay? But anyhow, great time. The campus was just incredible. They also, not only do they have teach commercial photography and that, they also teach videography. There's all these different categories that have to do with art at that school. The really cool thing is they also do assignments like not only studio photography, but they also do concert photography because, hey, Nashville, right? You got Opryland there, all these, you know, famous artists, singers there. And occasionally they come in to this studio for portraits and stuff. And the students just have a blast, you know. So again, great school. I enjoyed it, had a good time. All right, so that is number 5, and that is the workshop. I'll share some of the information with you, hopefully in May. Now, upcoming, number 6 in the last issue, and sit back. In fact, I need to chill out a little bit, take a sip. And that is, I talked about the importance of doing a private project. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to take you with me by video recording behind the scenes me on a project. I thought I'd be able to do it this April. I'm going to have to postpone it because Mother Nature is not cooperating here in Michigan. I mean, a little over a week ago, I'm riding my bike. It's 70 degrees outside. I'm having a good workout. This is great. Spring's right around the corner. Bam, the weather got so cold, and we're supposed to have Monday possible snow flurries. Having cold weather, but man, the weather's been nasty, wet, rainy, floods all over the place. So I'm going to have to postpone it, but I will review when I'm ready the project. I'm going to share with you how I'm going to push myself out of my comfort zone to do something, and then I want to make it into a project, and I might eventually make it as a tabletop book for myself. Again, personal projects, not for making money, but I want to take you along with the journey, and I want to encourage you to do something similar. It doesn't have to be the same type of photography, but I want you to push yourself out of your comfort zone to do something unique. dedicate yourself to it and do a body of work to see how that comes out. So I'll be talking more about that in some upcoming videos. And hopefully I can get out in May to do that. And again, I'm not a videographer. I'll try to do my best on taking you along with me, and I'll shoot some videos from behind the scenes. And then I'll actually show you the body of work that I came up with, but I'll also edit an image in front of you live. Well, it won't be live, but I will. It's going to be unscripted. I'm not going to practice. I'm just going to open up the image and I'm going to walk through, and I might make changes and adjustments, and not like something and cancel it and go back and forth. I want you to see my process of how I think and approach an image. All right, so with that out of the way, again, this is just, again, one of these Saturday sit back and chill out. There's no formal demo of a product or any heavy equipment type stuff that we're looking at and analyzing and dissecting images in Photoshop as an example. But we'll get back to normal. But I'm telling you, next week, Wednesday, is going to be awesome. You got to catch that video. All right, so with that out of the way, let's end it like I normally do, and that is get that camera out, start shooting, making mistakes. Why? Because we learn from making mistakes, and we want to push ourselves to think creatively, literally out of the box. Until next time, see ya.